Okay, so I've got to thinking about this whole arming the teachers in our schools type of thing, and they've talked about putting a lockbox in and putting the handgun inside that lockbox. But I got to thinking, if you're gonna do that, let's face the reality that in an emergency situation, a handgun is much more difficult to aim with. It's much more difficult to hit your target with. It's much more difficult to handle when your adrenaline gets that high. So what my thought is that if an active shooter is in the school, teachers are probably going to they should lock the door, barricade it, but then why not give the teachers a long rifle, AR-15, and AR-10, or whatever. Give them a Creedmoor. Who cares? As long as it's a rifle, it's easier to shoot for these teachers, and they can throw down a table for cover, and be prepared. If that shooter comes into the classroom, they got a beat on that door. They're gonna send some 223 rounds through the shooter, and the shooter's not gonna rapidly know where they're coming from, but the teacher will be ready. So I think instead of putting handguns in lock boxes, if you're gonna do that, you might as well put AR-15s. They're easier. They're easier to handle for these teachers, and then arm the conceal carry for the, obviously the guards should still be security guards that carry, and you can even have conceal carry by gym teachers, people that can break away freely and won't have to stay in a classroom and protect kids. So you got your janitors, you got your people in administration, your secretary, but allow the teachers that I don't think they're going to go. They shouldn't go confront the shooter, because if there's more than one, and you got to deal with all that issue, the teachers should be the protecting force of the students inside that classroom. So give them a gun safe, put an AR-15 in it, make sure they're trained in it. Absolutely, even training a pistol, put a pistol in there too. But the AR-15, people will learn that it is a positive tool. A positive tool. Not just bad people have them, and not just bad people go out and do bad things. Good people have these guns, and they're chosen because of the cosmetics. Let's face it, they're chosen because of the cosmetics, and we can add all kinds of cool stuff to them, and it's more of a hobby, and they look awesome. Let's face it, that's the reason why people have them, and that's why these school shooters choose them, is because they're relatively easy. So let's make sure that the teachers aren't outpowered, because if somebody brings an AR into the school and is shooting it up, they're gonna it's not quite as tough with a handgun. So I think great idea. Put these AR-15s in the classrooms, lock them up. Teachers and administration are the only ones that know the code. Do it in every classroom that a teacher feels comfortable with shooting that AR-15 and is trained properly, either by police standards or even military standards, be trained with that AR-15. And I think once the word gets out that AR-15s are in the schools, and if you come there to shoot them up, first you got to get by the security, armed security at the door. You're gonna have to get by the janitors or the administration that's carrying concealed, and then if you try to go into a classroom, you're going to be met with a 223, and you're going to get a lot of holes in you. I think that's a better way to go, and maybe this message will get to the president. I don't know, probably not, but if he sees it, I think it makes better sense. Tell me what you think.